Hello everyone, my name's Michael, and today I'm going to be doing a brain analysis of Call of Duty Zombies in Spaceland. With me today is my friend Jorden. Say hi, Jorden.
Hello.
And yeah, check out my cool space weapon. And we'll get started. We'll be talking about the frontal lobe first. And 4 categories of the frontal lobe are speaking, muscle movement, planning, and judgment. So the first one is speaking, and listen closely to when zombies are nearby. They don't make any attempt to talk or speak to you because they can't. All they do is moan, growl, and later on, or into the later rounds, you can hear them scream. So based on that, we can assume that there's some damage or at least some lack of speaking ability within the zombies. But because they can produce sounds, it's that part of the brain is still there, it just isn't functioning properly. That's a good way to put it. I mean, it could be damaged. It could be another way to describe it. Next is muscle movement. So we'll take this round and observe how the zombies carry their... Or if you were watching just then, I mean, like right here. See this zombie walking over, and that's one thing to note, was it actually looked around before stepping down right there. And we'll address that in a little bit. But you can see most of them, like this one right here, he's looking at me, but he also turns to the side and twitches back. He's kind of walking sideways, and this one is also stumbling. I mean, they're all kind of stumbling, but this one specifically in the front, though, you can see he's walking sideways towards me. But they are capable of walking, I mean, like, fairly well, but they all stagger a bit, so their movement seems to be slightly impaired to that extent right now. Later on in farther rounds, you'll see that they can run very fast because they continually get faster, but that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Help me, Jorden. That impairment, I guess. I'm trying to think of something more specific, but that impairment to their movement is always present. Yeah. Next is their planning, and as far as their planning capabilities go, according to the tips and tricks, which I'll pull up right now, it's under scenes, I think. In Zombies, players are pitted against wave after wave of zombies. Each scene contains a set number of zombies to defeat. When all of the zombies are killed, the scene ends and the next one begins. Watch out though, the zombies get craftier and more powerful with every scene. And the last part to note is where it says that they get craftier. So based on what the game tells us specifically about them, we assume that they do become more intelligent as it goes on, as far as trying to catch you. I cannot think of any specific instances other than the way they spawn around the map, trying to cut you off from different routes. I guess that would be the biggest thing, because you can't see it right now, but if you have, like right now where they're so slow, if I was to sprint to the other side of the map, they would disappear where they are, or travel, I guess, to that spot on the map where I'm at and reappear there, like out of a window or something. So I guess that's one way that they could try to cut me off in a route, by moving ahead of where I am. The way at which they travel like that, though, is a mechanic that I don't know about. Also, with the planning, zombies the way the game works is because it works in scenes, it's like the zombies are coming in giant hordes together, and I think this is a form of planning for them because it's the only way they come after you. So this, shows a sort of, I guess that could also be attributed to the craftiness of the zombies to come in larger hordes, to come faster and stronger each time at you. For the zombies' judgment, the one thing I'll go ahead and show you, whenever the zombies kill you, they don't actually eat you. They just wound you or knock you down. It's harder to see when I'm playing solo, but when you're playing with a partner, you become wounded and you start bleeding out. And while you're bleeding out, the zombies stop attacking you completely. And for me, that seems that they're making this judgment call to leave you alone instead of trying to finish you off. Don't know why, but that is how they do it every time. They don't try to eat you, so there's no need to feed from them, it would seem. They're just out to wound you, not even kill you. It's just wound you, then they leave you to die. Just kind of sick when you think about it. And that right there will kind of go into something I talk about later with kind of a possible or a theory about the zombies. But we'll get into that after we've finished talking about the other lobes of the brain. Alright, so the next lobe of the brain we're going to talk about is the parietal lobe. And this is how you receive sensory input for touch and body movement. So the biggest thing I have to note here is that when you are trying to kill the zombies, you'll notice I shoot them and they don't try to stop coming. They continually keep coming no matter how much damage I do until they are put down for good. But basically they don't feel any pain, or if they do, that doesn't stop them from coming after you. So until I put them down, no matter how many bullets I put into them, it won't matter.
So what you're saying is the zombies are like Liam Neeson.
Exactly. Next we're going to move on to the occipital lobe and lobes, and we'll talk about the zombie's vision. Now, it is hard to tell in-game exactly how the vision works because, well, I'll get into it a little later about how it could be that they don't require vision to find you, but from what I've gathered, there's no way to say that they don't have vision either. You notice there was another zombie back there again with the same motion as the one from before, right here on the left with the mohawk, the dude in the blue shirt. The way his body's twitching, it's like he's trying to look at me, but at the same time it's like he doesn't have to look at me to know where I am or where to go. Now right now you could attribute that to the fact that he's in a group with others and he's just following the horde, but we'll go ahead and do this. We'll kill off the others, and I'll show you that that's not the case. Oh, I gotta be careful because more are spawning in. But basically killing off the rest of the horde, he will still be able, or he'll still move in the same motion. Like his body's locked in that way. So it's like, I'm not saying that they don't have vision of you, but I don't think there's any way to completely determine whether or not they do. And I can explain that more later, or you'll understand later why I'm saying it that way. Because you might think that, oh, look at the yellow eyes, you know, they're clearly following me, you know, because they see me, but I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think there could be more to it. Lastly, we'll discuss the temporal lobe, and it is basically has to do with hearing, sound, and kind of like with the vision, because we're strictly talking about this game and not other Call of Duty zombie games, there's no way to definitively tell that they follow sound like gunshots or anything like that. Oh, I have a radio? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, remember that?
Mm-mm. What's it doing? Is it... Oh, hold up. We've got something else too. Yeah, it is. Okay. So, I just learned about this myself. The zombies are attracted to sound, so we can confirm their hearing abilities with that radio bomb I just used. So we know that at least the sound part does work, which it does kind of hurt the theory of the sixth sense a little bit, but not necessarily, because in order to discredit that theory, it would mean that the zombies had some extraordinary hearing and could hear you from across the map, which I wouldn't necessarily say is impossible, but I think it's more unlikely because of what I call the their possible sixth sense they have, and I'll go ahead and explain that, and it'll kind of help you understand the vision and hearing aspects and why we don't necessarily know that they have them. So basically what I think it is because if you play in a game with multiple people, and if two people were to stand on opposite ends of the map and all the zombies were with one person and knocked him down, they would immediately run towards the other person. They don't have to search the map. They know exactly where they're at, and because of that, it leads me to believe they have some kind of sense that allows them to know where, I guess you could say, non-infected or non-zombies are. And if you're having trouble understanding that and you're familiar with World War Z, it's kind of similar to that in the way that the zombies there, they don't kill people that are sick because they already have a virus in them. Spoilers if you haven't watched it. So, kind of like in that sense, I think it's like that, except if you're critically wounded, the zombies stop attacking you, and that's why they don't actually kill you. It's just like near death is enough to make them leave you alone. So that also goes into another thing, that the zombies they're not after you to eat you. They're only after you to, I guess you could say, even not even kill you, but just to critically wound you, because at that point they consider you dead, which is why you're able to be revived by your teammates. So as far as speaking goes with the zombies, they're these special ones. They're clowns, and they're a little bit more advanced in their speech, as in that they laugh at you. Also, their movement towards you is much different, even with the running. So you can see that they have this kind of playful attitude. It's like they have retained their kind of like character, in a sense, when they come after you. So their movement is more advanced than that of the regular zombies.
So what you're saying is the clowns are like the hierarchy of zombies.
I would say they're a step above the other, but I wouldn't say they're at the top. It's
So about your sixth sense theory, I mean,
yeah.
do you think like the zombies have a collective mind, and that's why they get smarter each round?
What do you mean a collective mind? That they all share like one brain?
Yeah, and like when the others die, the ones that are left, you know, kind of learn.
You know, that's actually, I like that. Because it makes sense. It also kind of, you know, includes that humanity aspect of adaptability. They're adapting each round to become stronger, and it would make sense for that to work by them sharing, you know, one brain. It's kind of,
They all have the same abilities at that point.
it's kind of like evolutionary steps. And you said that they would all have the same abilities?
Like if they shared one singular brain.
Not necessarily.
Wouldn't it insinuate that though?
It could, but I guess, but I don't think that's exactly what that means. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Now you can enjoy me riding this roller coaster for the first time, so I don't know what to expect other than shooting targets. Oh, there are clowns that I need to shoot so they don't blow up on me. Alright, I accidentally shot one right there. I was aiming for the target and hit a zombie.
Happy accident.
Right. Thanks for watching. Whee! Wow, so anticlimactic right there.